Good evening, race fans. Welcome to tonight's Street Stock Showdown, sponsored by Dropping Bombs Racing and SimSpeedShop.com. Gonna be a great night here at South Boston. We're gonna be running 2 heat races followed by a main event. Only the top 22 drivers will advance. Right now, drivers are in open qualifying, trying to get ready to get a little bit better spot for their heat race coming up. Bronson, the man of the hour so far, the number 69 machines, puts down a 16:03, the fastest time of this open qualifying. Qualifying's been running for about 45 minutes now, so a lot of drivers getting the opportunity to roll some laps and get ready for the heat races. Heat races should be starting any minute now, but we're expecting a good race tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I'm expecting a lot of action. As always, I'm James East up in the booth with Team Goon Squad Broadcasting, pushing you the action, 1080p, 60 frames a second. We greatly appreciate everybody from across the globe that tunes in, supports their favorite drivers, supports the channel, and just has a lot of fun with us out here racing pretend cars and just having an all-around good time. Tonight, race control will be provided by Patrick Sullivan. He's coming in clutch at the last moment, volunteering his services. The rules are pretty simple at these recruitment street stock races. If you drive like a hazard to yourself and others, you will get parked for the race. If you cause an incident, racing accidents happen, no worries. You'll receive an EOL. These guys do have one fast repair at their disposal, so a little bit of a get-out-of-jail-free card if they do have an incident for tonight. I believe we're about to go into our Heat 1 of the night. Let's see if this reads correctly. I'm not quite sure. So this is the first time we've actually ran a heat race. Tyler McRae is sponsoring the race for us and getting everything going. I believe it's going to be 2 different grids unless they go straight to the main event. It looks like we're going straight to the main. I'm not quite sure how that's happening. Tyler, again, he said earlier on, you know what, I don't normally set up races and I'm not normally the guy putting this all together, so it may be just one race here, but it looks like it's going to be Jonathan Bronson out front, Jordan Baminger in second, Tyler McRae third, Stephen Rex will be starting fourth, Trevor Birchmeyer will be starting fifth, Jeff Edgar sixth, John Friley starting seventh, Hunter Holden starting eighth, Robert Colgan starting ninth, Craig Lowen starting 10th. We got Raphael Gugin. I think I said that wrong. I apologize, Raphael. Mark Proctor starting in 12th. Then you've got Tony Newsom. He's starting 13th. Cody Barton, another Aussie out there. He's starting 14th tonight. Leslie Morgan in 15th. Kyle Luera in 16th. Nicholas Hebrank 17th. Lee Hallman 18th. Jody Alley will be starting 19th. And then Stephen Heights will be starting 20th to round out our grid tonight. So should be a pretty good night. We've only got 20 drivers, it looks like, taking the field, so basically it's going to be a practice race for all these competitors. Unless I'm reading along. So we got about 14 drivers on track right now. So that is going to be the case. So Jeff Edgar, Hunter Holden, Jody Alley, Raphael Gugin, Tony Newsom, Nicholas Hebrank, they will be starting in the second heat race of the night. 22 drivers advance to the main. 14 are on track right now. Be a very short heat race. But right now you've got Jonathan Bronson out front. Next to him, Jordan Babinger in the 48 machine. Bronson gets a great launch, dives it deep into one. You're going to see a lot of these drivers trying to get low as quick as they can, get on the preferred line. Stephen Heights, he's involved in an incident, but the caution does not come out. Bronson holding on to the lead right behind him. McRae starting to get in the mix. McRae, the number 99 machine, he's running the low line, and his Sim Speed Shop sponsored number 99 machine, a beautiful red and blue paint scheme. But there's some door banging going already. McRae gets in the side of Babinger. They have an incident going on. Manages to keep it out there, and McRae is going to take over second spot. Right now, Jonathan Bronson, though, he is checking out in the number 69 machine. He's got about a 0.4 second gap over second place right now. We know McRae has the pace, he has the experience here at South Boston, but does he have enough lap times in this heat? This heat does decide where they're going to start in the main event. We see another incident going on. Looks like Lee Hallman involved in an incident. No yellow, no foul, though, as these competitors are blasting around the racetrack. It's going to be 5 to go as Bronson crosses the line, clicks off his best lap so far, 16:12. McRae, he's only about 0.02 of a second behind Bronson right now as far as best lap times go, but about a 0.8 second split. So McRae may be happy just following along right here and saying, you know what? No worries pushing too hard this early on. I want a good starting position for our main event. But lots of good racing going on across the action. You got the number 5 machine. That's Leslie Morgan. Behind them is Cody Barton, Mark Proctor, Craig Lowen. A few normal suspects you like to see out here. Some of these guys don't have a ton of open setup experience. They're more fixed racers, or in some of these guys' case, they're more of road racers, so not even that much oval experience. But look at this battle shaping up. That's Mark Proctor in the 36 machine. He's followed behind Team Goon Squad sponsored athlete Craig Lowen. And behind Craig, the other only Aussie, that's Cody Barton. So the boys from the Land Down Under, Craig has a big moment. That's going to allow Cody to squeeze on by here. The white flag is out. Let's go back up front to the leaders. Jonathan Bronson still out front, but oh, there's carnage on the racetrack. That's going to be Tyler McRae. Jordan Babinger involved in a big incident, and it's going to be a race to the finish line to see who can get a little bit more, little bit better position. But both of those guys dropping 3 spots here. Overall, pretty good racing tonight. We're going to get ready for heat number 2 of the night here at South Boston Speedway. Again, I'd like to thank our sponsors, Droppin' Bombs Racing and the Sim Speed Shop crew for helping put this together. Couldn't do it without you guys. And a major thumbs up, Tyler McRae, professional racer, amateur server hoster, but does a great job getting out there and having a good time as we get ready for heat number 2 of the night. No, excuse me. We're going straight to the feature tonight as we get ready for 150 laps here at South Boston. Got a little bit going on with the broadcast here. Let's get that fixed for everybody. Should get it dialed in before we get ready for this feature main event to fire off. There we go. Should be about good to go there. 150 laps here at the tricky South Boston. It's one of those tracks that looks deceptively easy, but you can have a really rough time trying to get it dialed in and figured out. As we're back to our full capacity as far as our camera crew getting things dialed in for everybody. Starting up front, Jonathan Bronson. He's been the man to beat. Behind him, Trevor Birchmeyer. 2 very, very fast and talented drivers. But let's get ready to get this party started at South Boston. It's Trevor Birchmeyer starting in second. He's on the outside row. Jonathan Bronson on the inside in the 69 machine. Stephen Rex, Robert Colgan will be our second row. Green flag is out. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. They are off Bronson gets a great start. Birchmeier seems to fall back a little bit as you already hear some bodywork getting abused on this tight raceway. A lot of bumping, a lot of grinding. These guys are very competitive and very talented. You can't take that away from them. These guys are very comfortable pushing each other, but we do have an incident. Kyle Luera goes for a ride. Not sure if the caution's going to come out here tonight. And look at that. That's Tyler McRae. Sticks it on the inside and absolutely hammers, I believe that was the number 28 machine, Stephen Rex. There's carnage everywhere. Let's get you the Sim Speed Shop sponsored instant replay here. One of the first crashes is going to be Craig Lowen involved. Craig, I think he's a late entry to the party. Oh my goodness. We're going to watch that again from the 28's point of view. That's going to be Stephen Rex involved in a pretty early incident. So Rex is in the 28. Tyler McRae is in the 99 machine, the Drop-In Bomb Sim Speed Shop sponsored. Looks to me like Rex tries to get a little defensive, maybe hug the inside line. McRae doesn't really have anywhere to go. He's all over the apron. Yeah, looks to me like the 28 kept coming down, but that's going to be a tough one for race control to call. That is the fortunate part about being a broadcaster and not race control. I just get to enjoy the action. I don't have to make any executive decisions here. And here's another good, the Sim Speed Shop. Ooh, Craig Lowen hits Stephen Rex, hits into the wall, and carnage everywhere here tonight. A lot of good cars involved early on. Thankfully, they do have a long night to go ahead of them as we rack them here at South Boston. That's our first caution, lap 6. Call it lap 5 out of 150. A very competitive series here. This is a recruitment race. We've got our Pro-Am series that runs on Sundays. Fixed setups, not crazy aggressive. Good entry level into street stock showdowns. And then on Thursdays, we've got our Pro Series, open setups, cash prizes. But we'll get back to that later as we go green. And already you're starting to hear some bumping and grinding going on. Jonathan Bronson out front. Trevor Birchmeier second. Leslie Morgan was in third, going back and forth. Battling with number 14, Robert Colgan. I'm hearing more and more bodywork getting abused out there as we see Cody Barton involved. He's going to get a quick tow to the pit, so the caution will not come out yet. But these guys are bumping and grinding very, very hard. You see Leslie gets from the quarter panel of Robert Colgan, tries to move Robert up the racetrack a little bit, and that's going to allow Jonathan Bronson, current race leader, second place, Trevor Birchmeier, to get a little bit more of a gap behind the carnage. Try to keep those street stocks clean. These competitors only have one fast repair at their disposal. We're only on lap 10, so if you use it early on, you've got a very rough night ahead of you. You're going to see some of the competitors happy following along to our lap 75 or so. We talked to the drivers, and they said, hey, you know what? I probably don't need to fuel this thing up if we keep getting caution. So you may see a pit strategy develop if we get a caution past that lap 50 to 60 mark. Otherwise, you're going to see some of these fast and talented guys try to save some tires, stay out front, and just click off some laps. Leslie Morgan getting chased all over by Jordan Babinger. A great onboard with the number 5 machine. Shows you how close that 48 is getting in his Chevrolet street stock. Not a whole lot of room to breathe there. As the 48 starts to make a dive on the number 5, Morgan rides defensively. He's on the outside line, gets a bump from the 48 saying, hey, I'm still here. They're going to drive it deep, deep, deep into turn 3 and 4. And Leslie may get edged out by Jordan here. As a reminder, ladies and gentlemen, this is the battle for 4th. This isn't the battle for lead where these guys are pushing that hard. This is 4th. So from front to back, great racing. Street stocks are one of those machines that seems deceptively easy. But just as we say that, Leslie gets a little bit snapped loose, I believe is what that was. And you're going to find the number 5 machine shuffling to the back of the field here. Take you up front, that's Robert Colgan doing a good job. He's currently running third place, the number 14 machine, up 1 spot from where he started earlier on tonight. But man, great racing from across the field here. A lot of good competitors. A lot of these guys work together as teams in different series. They put in the time really needed to work on setups, to work on strategy. And that really pays off dividends when you get out here on a relatively simple track that shouldn't be that hard, but when you're trying to squeeze out every ounce of power you can, as we see Jordan, he makes a big move. Jordan, another one of the Dropping Bombs racing crew in his number 48 Fanatec machine, doing a fantastic job. Jordan is up 3 spots from where he started tonight, so he's been making moves slowly, methodically, getting his way back up there. And so far it's paying out. His best of the session is about a little bit slower, about a tenth slower than first place Jonathan Bronson or second Trevor Birchmeyer, with the Babinger put down a 16.24 compared to current race leader's best 16.13. But consistency is going to be the name of the game. As we start getting more green flag runs, tire wear is really going to come into play here at South Boston. And you might see a little bit better average times coming out of the number 48 machine versus the guys that have been pushing so hard, so fast, so early on. Right now, you've also got a battle for 4th place. You're watching Tyler McRae in the 99. He's chasing down the number 14 machine, Robert Colgan. And behind McRae, you've also got John Friley in the 06 machine. Friley is up 6 positions as well. So is Jeff Edgar in the 05 machine. So both of these guys really charging towards the front, trying to get back up there. And we've only got 10 cars on the lead lap right now. So we've had about a few guys fall off, have damage, having to come in and get their machines fixed. As we see McRae, that's the number 14 of Robert Colgan. He just edged out, so McRae's going to move up to 4th, up 1 spot from where he originally started. And after getting shuffled closer to the back after a very rough start when he was battling for the lead. As always, thank you to everybody that tunes in the Team Goon Squad channel, that gives us a follow and gives us a like on our videos. Couldn't do it without you guys. As a reminder, it also helps out your favorite drivers. We give a little bit more airtime if we're seeing the chat light up for them, giving shout outs for the guys. It helps them out with their sponsorships, helps the leagues out. And really, it wouldn't be much of a show without fans at home. So thank you to you guys and ladies from across the world that tune in to watch some good fashion sim racing. Right now, you got a great battle for 5th. Robert Colgan, he's trying to hold off John Friley and Jeff Edgar. A lot of talented drivers out here. You see how much damage Friley has already as these guys try and navigate lap traffic. That's Kyle Luera and the lime green kind of toothpaste looking number 43 machine. Does a great job. He gets out of the way as the faster cars and lets these guys go back out there and battle some more. This is the big battle on racetrack right now for 5th. Robert Colgan's trying to hold off those 2 drivers behind him. John Friley, Jeff Edgar, very, very talented drivers, very consistent. We've seen them finish well in street stock races across the iRacing service plenty of times. And look at that. Here comes Stephen Rex in the 28. Now he's in the mix of it. He wants a part of that 3-car battle for 5th. Rex is down 5 spots, so he was running up front, and he was involved in that early incident. His car looks absolutely mangled, but Rex may be saving that fast repair for a later caution if he has the opportunity. He might go in and get in and out real quick with a fast repair instead of a standard pit stop. So that might be a big strategy we see playing on, is right now he dives it down low, trying to get around John Friley. Friley's also got an injured 06 machine, so it's the battle of the damaged cars here at South Boston. Punt to win, as they say across the network. All these guys very, very experienced, no strangers to bumping and grinding. Steven Rex, the only driver tonight with a sideways picture he submitted for his driver overlay. So well done to Rex. He's about halfway from here in the broadcast booth in Georgia to our friends in Australia, so that's why he's only got about that 90-degree angle, not the full 180, but always great seeing Rex out here. We've seen him in other street stock races before, and again, another Dropping Bombs driver, so a lot of these guys work together. We said earlier in the broadcast, the Dropping Bombs team, very dominant in pretty much every street stock league or event they hop into. But man, this is the battle going on right now. It looks like Rex is going to get clear. The number 14, Robert Colgan. Rex doing a great job holding that inside line, but you have to ask yourself, how long can you hold that line without drifting up the racetrack out of your corner exits before tire wear starts to really fall off? Leslie Morgan in the number 5 machine coming into pit on lap 38. Morgan may be out of the race. I'm not quite sure what happened to the number 5 machine. Was running fantastically, all things considered, was in the top 10 on the lead lap, but looks like something may have happened. So we're going to see Morgan head back to the hauler, call it an early night. Oh, look at this. Jeff Edgar's navigating lap traffic. That's Craig Lowen in the number 7, our current fastest Australian on track, doing his best to give way to the lead lap drivers. Craig, a true professional, one of our favorite Aussies that we've ever had the pleasure of calling his races. So right now we're watching Jeff Edgar in 5th place. Edgar's up 5 spots so far. He's about 2.2 seconds and closing to 4th place Tyler McRae. We're on lap 42. Drivers said they can pretty much make the entire race on a tank of gas. So interested to see if we're going to see pit strategy develop here tonight, or if it's going to be every man for himself trying to make one set of tires last as long as they can. I've imagined it's got to be tough. Drivers start off with such loose setups here on these street stocks to get these cars to rotate around the kind of odd angles here at South Boston. And we're 44 laps into a run with, after I believe, 1 caution so far, so tire wear has got to be a factor. But right now, race leader Jonathan Bronson, he did a 16.42 his last time by, compared to his best of the session. Big impact. Oh no, that's Jeff Edgar goes around. And the caution comes out. So Edgar in the 05 machine here. I'm not sure if that was a lead lap car or maybe a lap down. So that's going to be the 36 of Mark Proctor. Let's back that up just a little bit. So let's see here. I'm not sure if Proctor gets in the wall. I think Proctor just gets a little bit loose. Tries to correct it, but that's a tough one to call. I don't know if I would call that a racing incident, because Proctor moved as best as he could, tried to give as much room as he could to the lead lap cars. That's a tough one, ladies and gentlemen. If you're watching along at home, let me know what you think. Proctor gets a little bit loose, veers to the left, and then cuts back right. I believe that cut back right was enough to get into Jeff Edgar, and then for Edgar, it just goes from bad to worse as he gets into the 28 of Steven Rex, who's involved in an early incident. Rex already had a damaged car, but Jeff Edgar takes a massive hit. Saw a few drivers come in and out of the pit lane. That's going to be Tyler McRae, Trevor Birchmeyer, Jonathan Bronson, Jordan Babinger. They're all in and out very quickly. 13-second pit stops for the most part. A few of the guys doing 22 seconds. So these guys may be taking a little bit of gas, trying to get enough to the end so they know they can comfortably run as long as they need to. As we start to whittle away on our competitors. Tyler McRae, he's up 4 spots, number 99 machine. He will be our race leader on the restart. Trevor Birchmeyer started in second, currently running second, the number 1 machine. Jonathan Bronson started on pole tonight, and he currently finds himself in third. And then Jordan Babinger, he's up 2 spots in 4th place. See the lucky dog, Craig Lowen, making his way around. Craig is going to still find himself 1 lap down, I believe. No, 3 laps down from the race leaders. I believe I only show 5 drivers on the lead lap right here. That's McRae, Birchmeyer, Bronson, Babinger, and Colgan. As we get ready to re-rack them here at South Boston, all eyes are on Birchmeyer, the number 1 machine. We know he has the pace to run out front, but look at McRae. He started on the inside line. He's got the kind of preferred position here to fend off teammate Birchmeyer. We're going to get ready to re-rack them. Here we go. Pace car will be in. Restart is up to Tyler McRae right here. Excuse me, pace car is not in. We did see on live timing that a driver left pit lane and then had an incident. That's Kyle Luera. Kyle's the number 43 machine. May have an incident that may have extended the caution here. Not quite sure. But for the most part, for a public street stock race, I would say that Race Control is having an okay evening. We're about a third of the way through this grueling race. Luera, who just involved in that last incident, he finds himself about 10 laps down right now. Give you a quick look at the scoring tower. Gives you an idea of how stretched out this field has gotten already. 7 drivers on the lead lap, followed by Proctor, who's 2 laps down. Lowen, who's 3 laps down. Unfortunately, drivers not quite having the night they really wanted here tonight. There we go. McRae gets a great start. He's going to defend Birchmeyer, who was on the outside line, and then look at Jonathan Bronson diving down the inside of Birchmeyer. He may be able to pick up second place here. Can he hold it down low? The number 69 machine. Birchmeyer, the number 1, he's all over him on the outside line. And then Babinger gets very, very loose, and his number 48 machine manages to hold on to it. Some of these drivers are coming out with fresh tires, so it's going to be a little bit different race car and different racetrack for them right now as they get used to everything. Lots of smoke on the racetrack as drivers doing their best to hold on to these loose machines. We said early on, they run as loose as we can, and a huge moment from Babinger manages to hold on to it, but that was spectacular. So the 48 machine definitely cooked his tires there. He's going to take a couple laps to get the temperatures back down before he can aggressively push it, but that was a huge, huge save from the 48 machine. Meanwhile, Jonathan Bronson puts down the fastest lap of the race so far, a 16.11. He is hauling the mail up here tonight. As you see the 69 trying to dive it down the inside of Tyler McRae, isn't able to hold on to it. A big, big save. That's going to allow Birchmeyer to get around. And just like that, the top 3 is mixed up again. Cody Barton showing as a crash as well. He's able to get to the pits before bringing out the yellow. Man, what a race here, ladies and gentlemen. The top 3 really hanging out in the line, showing what they've got. Smoke all across the racetrack, looking like a Waffle House from 1990 as Birchmeyer gets into the 43 of Kyle Luera. Luera was trying to limp it to pit lane, but Birchmeyer just got into him. Not sure if he's going to have damage on the number 1 machine or not, as Birchmeyer doing his best to reel in Tyler McRae here. Birchmeyer, a man on the mission, absolutely chasing down the number 99 in McRae. Now, Birchmeyer does have one of the fastest laps of the race with a 16.8. He's averaging about 1/10 of a second faster than McRae right now. And I think any moment here, you're going to see Birchmeier try and make a move. Birchmeier, the number 1. You see how glowing red hot those rotors are on the number 1 machine as he's getting closer and closer to the rear bumper of that Sim Speed Shop sponsored 99. Not quite sure if or when we're going to see a move here, as all these drivers are very talented, very fast. Here's the rear view camera off of Tyler McRae, our race leader, the 99. Oh, that shows just how close Birchmeier and the number 1 machine really is here. And a beautiful onboard from the number 1 to Birchmeier. This really gives you a good perspective of how tight it is out there on the racetrack. It looks deceptively wide to everybody at home because, hey, it's just oval. How hard can it be? You go fast and you turn left, but let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, it's more difficult than it looks as Birchmeier tries to make a pass to McRae, but now he's going to get shuffled out by Bronson, who takes it side by side. Bronson, number 69, running the high side. Birchmeier's going to have to play it safe, drops back in line. Great racing from all of our competitors here tonight. McRae still out front. He's about a half second ahead of 3rd place Birchmeier. But you could throw a blanket over the top 3 right now. Bronson, he qualified up front. He wants back up front. And he is really working the brakes on his street stock machine. He's going to dive it down low going into turn 3. Can he make it stick on McRae, or is he going to have to whoa that 69 up too much? He does still have the inside lines going into 1 and 2. It's very, very hard if you can't carry your natural line drift up high. McRae tries to give him as much room as he can, but McRae can't get shuffled back too far because now he's got Birchmeier hot on his heels as the top 3 is separated by less than 0.3 of a second. It's Jonathan Bronson up front, the 69, Tyler McRae in 2nd in the 99. Birchmeier running the number 1. He's in 3rd, so lots of good racing from start to finish. And don't forget about Jordan Babinger, the number 48. Here's another pass. Here comes Birchmeier diving down the inside of McRae. Birchmeier's going to take over 2nd place. McRae's going to fall in line, and that's going to allow Babinger back into the mix, the 48 machine, right on the rear bumper of McRae in the 99. We are just about at the halfway mark. But fantastic racing going on here tonight. Oh, McRae has a little bit of a moment. Car gets a little unsettled. That's going to allow Babinger. He's going to dive it down the inside of the number 48 machine. Tyler McRae seeing 2 of his sponsored drivers. That's Birchmeier and Babinger make their way past them as these guys have lap traffic to contend with. Oh no, boys, hold on to it. That's the 117 Cody Barton, one of our other favorite Aussie drivers, does the respectable thing, drives the high line. The last thing he wants to do is get collected any of these leaders, so he'll go another lap down, but most importantly, he's staying out there and putting down laps. That's the most important thing for these drivers in recruitment races. Seat time, seat time, seat time. Getting the experience they need, driving on this racetrack for longer distance races, and it gives them more time to develop their setups as well. But look at this battle going on. That's Jordan Babinger bumping teammate Trevor Birchmeier, giving a little bit of a shove to his buddy. As here comes Babinger riding up the inside of Birchmeier, trying to make a pass for 2nd. Can he make it stick? They're side by side. Smoke everywhere. Craig Lowen, the number 7, involved in an incident. That's going to take out Tyler McRae. Let's get you the Sim Speed sponsored instant replay. So Craig Lowen and the number 7 is going to be our protagonist in this story. Causes the initial incident. I think he gets a little bit loose and just gives the wall way too much love. You see the back end of that 7 machine start to step out, going through 1 and 2. Does his best to hold on to it. Tokyo drifting through the marbles using the apron. Not able to hold on to it. Well, that's a heck of a drift, though, isn't it? Just like that, it snaps right across the racetrack. Current race leader Jonathan Bronson able to get through clean, but this is where it goes very, very bad. That's Birchmeier involved, and he bumps into his teammate, Tyler McRae. McRae slides, and a hard hit into the outside wall. McRae says, you know what, I'm just as fast going backwards. So he waits for the caution to come out. He's got a great view of the cars coming up behind him. How long does McRae go backwards for? That's really impressive. So McRae grabs the high line in 3 before getting out of the way and whips that number 99 machine around. So now race leader Jonathan Bronson, Babinger in second, John Friley, he's up 9 spots in his 06 machine. He'll be in third. A lot of drivers involved in that one here tonight. So we're going to re-rack them. We are past the halfway mark. I don't think you're going to see many drivers coming in for fuel and tires unless it's an absolute necessity. And it's going to show 7 drivers still in the lead lap as we bring out, I believe, our 3rd caution of the night on lap 82. So all in all, pretty good runs here going on tonight. About a 40-lap run from our competitors before a little bit of shenanigans came about on the raceway. Go Jonathan Bronson out front, Babinger second, John Friley third, Robert Colgan fourth, McRae fifth, Edgar sixth, Birchmeier in seventh. A lot of fast cars involved in that incident. You can see them trying to work their way back up the pack as quick as they can. As a swarm of bumblebees, Todd McRae dives it down the inside against John Friley in the 06 machine. Behind Friley, you've got Edgar and Birchmeier also getting in the mix of it here. Todd McRae, he's all over the back of Robert Colgan right now. Colgan running third, McRae running fourth. McRae dives it down the inside. He's got the preferred line going into 1 and 2. Can he make it stick on the exit? He can. McRae's going to get him. He's back up to third. Now Robert Colgan's going to follow in tow for a little bit. Behind them, Jeff Edgar. There's a lot of bumping and grinding going on. We see somebody in the wall. Not quite sure who that was. That might have been Birchmeier. Birchmeier involved in another incident. Because right now Edgar's trying to fend off John Friley, Trevor Birchmeier. As we get ready with lap 91 out of 150, these competitors are in the home stretch. A lot of wall tapping going on. The machines are going to start tightening up more and more on this raceway. Right now you're going to watch John Friley in the 06 machine. He's doing his best to fend off Birchmeier. We know Birchmeier has the pace to run out front. He qualified way up at the front. He's going to try and stick his nose into the inside of Friley. Looks like he's going to get it to stick here. Right now, that 06 machine is on rails, so he's got a long way to go to catch up to the front. He's about 4.6 seconds back from the lead pack. Not sure if Fry's going to have the time and the pace to get all the way back up front. Bronson with a commanding lead. He's got about 3/4 of a second over second place. Babinger in the 48 machine. Behind Babinger, Tom McRae is about 1.7 seconds back from the leader. So McRae's been doing a good job. He's been clicking off laps, but once these cars really tighten up, it gets very, very hard to really push for more speed. Bronson doing a great job. Babinger still in second. Tyler McRae in third. Here comes, Robert Colgan though, can he catch up to Tyler McRae? Colgan started fourth, currently running fourth. As these drivers starting to get slightly strung out on the raceway. A lot of drivers still running out there. Mark Proctor looks like he's in the pits. May have called it a night. Cody Barton, Craig Lowe, and Steven Rex, they're all lapped down. Kyle Luera's a lap down. He's still out there running. Excuse me, Kyle Luera is not out there running. Leslie Morgan also parked it for the night. So a few drivers having a rough night and decide, you know what? I'm still crashing here. I'm not really getting any data from tonight. Let's go ahead and park it and go back to the drawing board and work with our crew chiefs, try and get something dialed in. Tom McRae, he's whittled away that gap to second place down to a second. We're going to take you on board for one lap with Jordan Babinger, let you listen to what these competitors are doing to these race machines to put down a quick lap. So here we go, one lap uninterrupted. Babinger showing what it takes to put down a 16.5. He's about 0.4 of a second off his best in the session, but tire wear's got to be a concern for these drivers. They've got about 46 laps left remaining here in South Boston, and they know, hey, to make it to the end, I've got to make it. I can't be finding myself involved in incidents, hitting the wall. Every wall tap can really slow you down, and every cooked tire can take 2 or 3 laps to get them cooled back off and get back out there. Babinger's got to know he's got McRae in his rearview mirror. That gap is down to 0.8 seconds. So McRae whittling away, trying to catch back up to second place, Jordan Babinger. Meanwhile, Jonathan Bronson checking out. He's got a 1.3 second gap to second place. He wants this race to stay green so he can keep clicking off laps here. But always a pleasure to see good green flag runs. Now, Tyler McRae talked to us before the broadcast and the race tonight. We talked to him in his hauler. He said, hey, the fuel settings weren't quite right for tonight. We're going to try and force it at 5.5 gallons. Instead, there's a little bit of an error where all drivers have 50% fuel capacity, which is 11 gallons. So most of these guys, after they had that one pit stop under caution, they're able to run green for the rest of the race. You see Cody Barton, he's making way for the fast guys coming in. He's going to allow Tyler McRae to swoop down the inside. McRae still chasing Babinger. That gap is down to 0.6 seconds, so McRae gained about a tenth and a half on that last lap. Trying to reel in teammate, friend, and second place, Jordan Babinger. As it sounded there like McRae may have had a bit of a moment, maybe gave the wall a little bit of love tap. Feeling out the limits of the raceway, but here comes McRae. He's driving hard, trying to catch that number 48 machine, second place. You see just how much McRae has really whittled down that gap. just on the right side of your screen, you saw that red fender of the red and blue Sim Speed Shop sponsored 99. He's chasing down the Snap Mobile machine, the 48, Jordan Babinger. Here comes McRae. He's going to dive it down the inside. Not sure if Babinger is yielding the position to team captain. Maybe some team orders going on there. Or just realizes, hey, I don't quite have the pace right now. I need to save a little bit more tires as this run develops. Less than 40 laps remaining, but look at Babinger right back to the rear bumper of McRae. McRae, he's about 2.6 seconds back from race leader Jonathan Bronson. Not sure if McRae is going to have the pace. His last lap was 0.2 of a slower than the race leader Jonathan Bronson. We'll look for the live timing to update next time they come by. McRae did a 16.48 compared to race leader Jonathan Bronson, who is 3 seconds ahead of him right now. Excuse me, 2.6 seconds ahead of him. So McRae, he's 2.77 seconds back from race leader Jonathan Bronson. He's got about 33 laps remaining, and he is running slightly slower than Bronson is right now on track. So McRae either needs to pick up the pace, or he's going to have to count on Bronson to really fall off with tire wear to try and make something happen. Because right now, with that 3-second gap and climbing, Bronson doing a spectacular performance tonight. Bronson in the Auto Owners sponsor number 69 Camry, showing what it takes to be a top-tier driver. Bronson has an iRating of 5,300 on the iRacing service, so no stranger to going fast and turning left as far as ovals go. Bronson, he has 379 oval starts, 119 wins on official iRacing lobbies. That puts his win percentage at a 31.39%. His top 5 percentage, 73%. Pace car is out. Not quite sure what happened there. We didn't see an incident on live timing and scoring. We'll be right back. We're going to see if we can grab a word from race control and figure out what might have happened there. So we got a word from race control. That was a gentleman's agreed upon competition caution. So with these fun races, we got a little bit more leeway as far as rules go. So what the drivers agreed on, I was like, hey, we're pretty strung out. We'd rather be racing right now instead of driving around by ourselves for the next 25 laps. So they all had a gentleman's agreement. Hey, let's talk to race control, bring out a competition caution, and let's get back out there and race. Maybe bang some doors, push some bumpers, have a grand old time. As it's going to be Tyler McRae up front for the restart. Jordan Babinger in second. Robert Colgan third. Jeff Edgar fourth. John Friley fifth. Jonathan Bronson sixth. And Trevor Birchmeyer seventh. Those are our cars on the lead lap here at South Boston. 25 to go. It'll be 24 or 23 at the line. The final shootout. All the guts and the glory. These guys are competing for some credits for one of the Team Goon Squad series. We've got our fixed Pro-Am series running on Sunday nights, our Pro series with open setups running on Thursday nights. So these drivers trying to win a little bit of credit towards those races, covers their entry fees and some of the race fees. And here we go. McRae gets a great start. Jordan Babinger on the outside. They're going to dive it into one. Looks like Babinger's going to be happy following in single file just here for a moment. No, Babinger tries to work up the inside. And just like that, going into three, Babinger on the inside, McRae on the outside. Steven Rex involved in a crash. Birchmeier involved in a crash. Yellow flag is out. So we're watching Steven Rex in the 28. It shows him and Birchmeier getting involved in an incident. Let's see where from. Some of these guys may be coming out on fresh tires. But it looks to me, if I was a betting man, there's about to be an incident in front of them. There is the 05, gets kind of checked up. Steven Rex gets a big, hard shove from the number one, Birchmeier. Just doesn't have anywhere to go. It's going to send both of those teammates sliding around the track. But it looks to me like that was a two-car incident. So most of the drivers are able to keep it pretty clean, keep their noses off the wall, and keep those cars relatively undamaged. So it's going to be Babinger. He's going to be up front for the restart. Tyler McRae second, Robert Colgan third, John Frawley fourth, Bronson in fifth, Edgar sixth, Birchmeier seventh on this restart. With 22 to go, this could very well be our last restart of the night. But you know what they say, cautions breed cautions. Babinger and the number 48 machine. He's one of the Dropping Bombs Racing drivers. Trying to put it up there up front on the pointy end of the podium for his teammates. But Tyler McCrary, team owner in the 99, he wants a piece of Jordan. Jordan was one of the fast guys to beat in qualifying. Most of these racers are laughing, saying, hey, if we can beat Jordan, it's a pretty successful night. So Jordan has a big old target on the back of his 48 machine. And it's going to be 20 laps to go at South Boston, waiting for that official iRacing pace truck to bring it down to pit lane. And then we are going to get this party started here tonight. Pace car is in. Tyler McRae hits the loud pedal in the number 99. How long can he fend off Jordan Babinger? Babinger right on the outside of the 99. We saw him do a fantastic high-low maneuver on that last start. Babinger out front, the number 48. Tyler McRae following in tow. Behind them, a gaggle of cars trying to jockey for position. That's Robert Colgan, Jonathan Bronson, John Frawley, Trevor Birchmeier, all going 2 by 2. Not a lot of real estate on this racetrack. As you see, the number 14 gets a little bit of a love tap from the 69. It's going to slow their pack down just enough. And when these cars get stacked up like that, things get exciting just as we say it. John Frawley, he's in the side of Trevor Birchmeier. Let's see who caused that incident here tonight. So the Trevor Birchmeier gets a little bit of a love tap on that back corner panel from John Frawley. You're on board right now with the 06, John Frawley. He's riding that mid to high line groove. Everybody's been too wide, so it's very tight racing. We're going to see what happens here. Does a good job of getting up the racetrack. It looks like he just kind of bounces a little bit just in that corner panel of Frawley. And that's going to send Frawley into the inside wall against that beautiful snapmobile.shop advertising, though. So he's got that going for him. But a very, very hard hit for both of those drivers, Trevor Birchmeier, John Friley. So hate to see it. With 14 laps to go, it's going to keep shaking things up here at South Boston. Cautions, always breeding cautions. Jordan Babinger still starting up front. Can Tyler McRae, the number 99, have anything for him? Or can Robert Colgan, starting in third with Jeff Edgar, can that second row work together and get their way up to the front? It's going to be about 12 laps to go on the restart. Still anybody's guess on who's going to bring it home tonight. Who is that? Was that McRae with a big blink? McRae in the number 99, he's got internet problems. McRae with a 99, nowhere to be found on racetrack. He was our dark horse to win it tonight. But McRae dropped off the face of the planet here. So that's going to move that outside line up. So now you've got Jeff Edgar. He's up 11 spots. He's in the mix of it for a top 3. Trevor Birchmeier, he moves up as well thanks to McRae having problems. Not sure if that was internet problems or what that might have been. Green flag is out. Babinger's out front. Jeff Edgar in second. Edgar on the high line trying to get low to defend his spot, because behind Edgar you've got Birchmeier. You've got Colgan. Very fast drivers here, all battling for position. The 14 gets him the side of number 1, Birchmeier. They're going to go 3 wide. This can't end well. Going into turn 1. Look at Jonathan Bronson. They're 3 wide into 1. They're 3 wide into 2. Oh, no. Colgan gets hit hard. He's going to nail it on the inside wall. The caution does not come out. 9 laps to go. There's just no way this ever goes wide with 3 wide here at South Boston, but you got to do what it takes to try and get that spot. Here comes Jonathan Bronson. He's got Jeff Edgar in his sights. Edgar's in second place with the 05. Here comes Bronson diving it down the inside. Can he make it stick against Edgar? Edgar running the high line. No more real estate for either of these drivers. Bronson's going to move his way up into second. Edgar gives him a shove. Here comes Birchmeier, the number 1. You're going to see an angry driver out of him, bumping and grinding. It's going to be 6 to go right now, 5 to go once they cross the line. All these drivers really have their hands full. Edgar's trying to hold off Birchmeier while at the same time trying to get up to Bronson. Babinger, though, has got a huge lead right now. He's trying to check out, doesn't want anything to do with it. 5 laps to go at South Boston. Top 3 a little bit spaced out, but man, Edgar's going to have his hands full. Here comes Birchmeier, the number 1. He's already got some scuffs on that number 1. Not afraid to use that front bumper if he has to. 4 laps to go. 3 as they cross the line. Edgar trying to get every spot he can to hold the line. Birchmeier going to punch a hole through here in a second if he can't make something happen. Behind Birchmeier, though, John Friley, Robert Colgan, they see a top podium in their sights. It is a 4-car battle for third. Who's going to be the aggressor here? Robert Colgan, I think he gets to the wall by himself. White flag is out here at South Boston. Jordan Babinger comfortably out front. Jonathan Bronson in second by a mile. Here's the main battle. It's Jeff Edgar trying to hold off the number 1. The number 1 gives him a shove, dives to the inside. He gets taken out. John Friley's going to bring it home in third. An absolute bloodbath here tonight. Spectacular racing across the board. And we're going to try and get these drivers together in pit lane as Jordan Babinger does a well-deserved victory burnout in the number 48 machine. Number 48, he paid for all the tires. He's going to use all the tires. As we're going to try and get some of these drivers up to our pit lane announcing booth podium speech. Take a look at our unofficial results. There we go. Jordan Babinger finishing up front. Jonathan Bronson in second. John Friley third. Robert Colgan fourth. Trevor Birchmeyer fifth. Jeff Edgar sixth. Tyler McRae seventh. Team Goon Squad favorite Craig Lowen in eighth. Cody Barton, another favorite Aussie, in ninth. And then Steven Rex will round out our top 10 tonight. Looks like no drivers. There we go. Who do I have in the booth with me?
Jonathan Bronson.
Bronson, a great run tonight. Second place. It looked like towards the end it was a pretty comfortable gap to you and Babinger, and then absolute carnage behind you. How did the race play out from your point of view tonight?
Well, we had good speed at the beginning. A couple cautions came out, a couple competition yellows. Other than that, it's just at the end, had a bad pit stop, got sent to the back. Those 3 or 4 cautions really screwed us, and we weren't able to get up there, fight for the win.
Overall, great run. We know South Boston is one of those tricky racetracks. How did the car feel okay on those longer runs, or did it become a tight mess for you as more things developed?
The car felt pretty tight as the race went on, but we definitely had good speed compared to the rest of the field, which I was pretty happy with.
Well, good to see it, man. We hope to see you out here on the podium more often on the Team Goon Squad series. And before we let you go, anybody you'd like to thank that might be watching along at home tonight?
Not anyone really specific, but mainly just the Dropping Bomb guys and everyone that helps put this event on.
A lot of good guys. We're great to see them. Jonathan, we hope to see you in the future. Have a great night, my friend.
Thank you. You too.
Up next, the man of the hour, Jordan. I've probably been saying your name all wrong. Is it Babinger?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, you got it.
I got in the last 70 laps, so just don't watch the first 60. You're going to love the show. But, Jordan, you did a great job. You had a very commanding lead there at the end of the number 48. How did things go through the front windshield of the 48 machine tonight?
Oh, well, we definitely weren't the fastest car tonight. Jonathan definitely was. He got, I don't know, when them cautions come out, he had some issues, he said. But we had newer right sides there and got a good enough lead out on him, and we're able to hold him off.
Well, a fantastic job tonight. Was the car still pretty quick for you at the end? I know there's a lot of cautions, a lot of drivers on mixed pit strategies. Or did you set it up so loose it stayed pretty comfortable in those longer runs?
It started coming to me, but then it was too loose. I was probably 10 to 12 degrees loose. So that didn't work out. We got some work to do on that.
Well, loose is fast unless you can't hold on to it. Jordan, before we let you go, anybody you'd like to thank tonight?
Oh, I just want to thank Tyler McRae for putting it on and inviting us to come race with you guys, and you for calling the race and broadcasting it.
Always a pleasure, my friend. Jordan, we hope to see you at more events in the future. Well done tonight.
Yep, much appreciated. Thank you.
All right, that's going to do it for our Street Stock Showdown, sponsored by Dropping Bombs Racing and the Sim Speed Shop. Check them out for all your button boxes need. Great customer service. Everybody raves about them. In the future, we look to see you more. Check us out on Sundays for the Team Goon Squad Pro-Am Street Stock Series. Fixed cars, lots of fun. And then on Thursdays for our Premier Pro Series, open setups, cash prizes. Both series brought to you live on the Team Goon Squad broadcasting channel. Always pushing it out, 1080p, 60 frames a second. On behalf of everyone, I'm James East, and we hope you have a great night.